Hey, this is Luke from Play.
And this is Paul.
And today we are taking a look at No Man's Sky, a game. What is it? A game? What do you do, Paul? What do you do in No Man's Sky?
Yeah, this is the thing, because everybody's kind of excited about No Man's Sky, but then they're like, "What actually do you do? Like, what is the game?" Part of the difficulty of working that out is that the developers are being quite clear, saying that they want people to be able to discover stuff for themselves. So it's understandable that they don't really want to say too much about what it is. It's not going to have. It's going to be the kind of game. It's not going to have objective markers everywhere telling you go here, do this. So they want you to discover for yourself.
I'm down with that.
But we can try and make some guesses, and there is some information out there to explain what you're actually going to do. So everybody starts on the edge of the galaxy, on their own planet, in the middle of nowhere, miles away from other people. Well, light years away from other people. You're not going to be told what to do, so you're going to be working out for yourself. But what they've said is that you'll be basically going to be able to collect resources, which you will then be able to use to buy better ships that allow you to travel faster, further. They'll be able to carry more fuel. The purpose of that is the only thing that you will see on your map in terms of an objective marker is there's a big glowing thing at the center of the universe.
Okay.
They're not telling you to go there explicitly, and they're not telling you what that is, but basically that's what we're going to be doing, because what they've said is the closer you get to the center of the universe, the more resources you'll find and the better equipment you'll get.
Okay.
So there's an incentive to go that way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, presumably the payoff being that things get tougher as you go further in, like tougher enemies or whatever.
Yeah, and again, that's how you're going to get a sense of progress.
Okay.
And that the ships, if you want better ships, you have to go that way. You can't stay where you are. So there'll be trading posts on some planets. There'll be space stations. So it'll be a case of investigating the planets that are around you, that you can then scan those planets to see what resources are there. So then it's going to be a case of collecting those resources, trying to get what you can to improve not only your ship, you can also improve your tools that you have. Like you have some kind of multi-tool that you use to collect the resources. There's a suggestion that you can use that in combat as well with AI creatures on the planet. They've also hinted that there are factions that you can align yourselves with in some ways. Yeah, so again, it's not going to be like do so many missions for these people and they will be your friends, but if you attack certain factions, again these are going to be AI controlled factions, then obviously they're not going to like you and they'll be hostile to you, but it is possible to help them. And I mean, if you remember, there's a trailer or a couple of trailers where the player's got a couple of ships alongside him, flying in formation, and they have confirmed that those are AI characters that have become favourable to you somehow. So we know that that's going to be a part of the game.
Okay, so it might be like playing factions off against each other then.
Yeah.
Like intentionally going bad on one in order to curry the favour of another one, something like that.
It could be. Again, they're being very vague about it, but we can surmise that there's
we can guess.
Like that.
We can guess all day long.
Yeah.
How long will it take me to find Cybertron?
They've said it would probably take 40 to 100 hours, but they're saying you'd have to know what you're doing and be very much only focusing on getting to the centre of the universe. If you're going to do it in 40 hours, you'd have to know the game and know how to best exploit it to do that.
Yeah, and in doing so, you would see something ridiculous like 0.00001% of the planets in the game as well.
Sure. Well, I mean, this is the other thing they're saying. They're hoping that players won't just be rushing to get to the centre, that they'll find their own things to do. Like it talks about, Minecraft and stuff, where you'd sort of set your own objectives, and that's what they want. No Man's Sky.
Yeah, you need some diamonds, so you're going to have to find a planet that's got diamonds.
The interesting thing they've said is that when you get to the centre of the universe, you will want your friends to join you there. I don't know what that means.
Is it a party?
It's just a big party, yeah. It could be. They've been very cagey about multiplayer as well, so I'm wondering...
That's the party. The party it's an MMO party in the middle of the universe.
So is No Man's Sky a disguise for Second Life?
Possibly.
Oh, it's not PlayStation Home.
No, well, we can tell that by the fact that look at it, actually look good. I don't know what could possibly be at the centre of the universe that you'll want players to join you for.
I don't know, but it's probably related to the artifact, which is the symbol for No Man's Sky. In that aspect, again, they've said there will be some kind of story, but it's not going to be, you're not going to have somebody coming through in your comms like, oh, go and do this, and then you find out a bit more story. It's going to be
like in The Crew.
Yeah, like in The Crew. It's going to be stuff. I guess from the way they talk about it, it's going to be stuff that you naturally find that gives you hints, and then I expect it to be one of those things as well where it's very much discussed in forums, like it's a collaborative thing to work out what the story is, what they're going for. So the answer to what you'll be doing around Sky is in a sense whatever you want. That's what they're going for, but there is this very defined path of the objective is to get to the centre of the universe,
to get to the party on
upgrade
time,
your equipment, to get the best possible stuff you can get to get there. The one final thing it's worth mentioning, they have hinted that there's permadeath. I don't know if that is definitely going to be in there, but that would add an interesting element to the game, because it sounds like it's going to be quite dangerous and take a very long time to get to the centre.
I know they said you can lose your ship and basically have to rebuild one from scratch on the planet you're on. That in itself, that's kind of worse than permadeath. At least with permadeath I can start over in the kind of favourable position I'm in at the start of the game. If I'm stranded on a planet towards well, almost at the party, then I'm going to have a lot more dangerous wildlife to fight. I'm going to have maybe less of the resources I might need, and I might end up making myself a little paper plane that I'm flying around in for a little while, that's flimsy as all hell and doesn't get me very far. So that alone is terrifying. I'm looking forward to it though. I'm really hoping that instead of a party at the centre of the universe, it's a Joe Danger MMO.
Well, we can only speculate.
It's likely, isn't it?
It's
at least 3% likely that MMO Danger will be in the middle of the universe.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping.
You heard it first. Confirmed. There you go.